Sit here, gentlemen, guests of the Assuli winery. I am Ludovico Ariosto, the poet, and here I present my poem, Orlando Furioso, which tells of fantastic adventures and characters who wander from France to Sicily, through Africa to the distant craters of the moon. Orlando, the paladin, who burns with love for the lovely Angelica, and in the background the war of Christians wrought against Saracens, and Orlando's best friend, Astolfo, to whom fortune was propitious by virtue of enchanted arms. And then Ruggiero, the virtuous and loyal warrior, with his sword Balisarda, always riding on Frontino, his steed, and more things yet. It is my poetry which discovers the deceitfulness of the senses and human judgment. But the time has come, let us go and begin to weave the web of the adventures of armed knights, of loves and jewels, of extraordinary feats, of monsters, magic and things never heard before. It is the Pentecost. King Charles declares a truce with the Moors, so that he could feast at his palace with lovely ladies and courageous knights. Right in the middle of the banquet, through the cusp of the hall, came a scent of roses. A princess, Angelica her name, beautiful. In that instant, time halted, the grinding of jaws, the clinking of glasses, the row of the feasters became silence. And all that remained was passion, the uproar of the mind of those who feel their hearts on fire, burning eyes on one another, slaves seduced by the same spell of the princes of Cathay, quarrels and brawls that, to quell the tension, King Charles promised the hand of the beauty to whomever of these most gallant had been on the field of battle. Meanwhile, in the turmoil, the beautiful princess vanished as if into thin air, into the forest, over the mountains, boundless plains, where? It was a moment for Orlando to grab his horse and set off in her search. The lovely Angelica had achieved her goal. That hatred and ire towards the Moors turned against the paladins themselves, caught on the hook of her cruel line, distracted from the fight and drawn into the vortex of the lust. To worsen the matters, on her road of return, with a young Saracen foot soldier, Medoro, did the beautiful princess fall in love. Love reciprocated, love requited, love that wants to be shouted to the world, and written on the rocks and carved on the trunks of the oaks. So much so that Orlando in his wandering search saw a sign on a trunk, marked on another lighter one, the heart and the dart, and on a rock another trace of Angelica's heart, lust for Medoro, and vice versa. Spur, Orlando, spur on Brigliadoro at gallop until he's exhausted. Your mind, Orlando, is already gone. You are furious. You see, but do not glean. You hear, but do not listen. And suddenly, the ride takes you to a castle. The door is made of gold. It is the castle of the wizard Atlante. And from high atop the tower, you hear, "Help! Help! Orlando, save me!" What do my ears hear? It is Angelica calling, inside the castle. To me! To me! But likewise, Ruggiero, engaged in the same quest, as if by magic finds himself in proximity of the same castle of Atlante, and from high atop tower, "Help! Help! Ruggiero, come and save me." Entering the castle was a flash, but inside only magic. Labyrinth. oblique, virtual and liquid, and mirrors, 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 and mirrors. Orlando scours, Ruggiero seeks, but none find anything but his own woe. None find none, if not in self. Orlando, you have lost your mind. To you that God gave strength and courage to fight the fierce Saladin. Where does your madness take you? Casting honor behind a mirage, Angelica, the beautiful princess, blinded in your mind by cruel passion, bewitched by a sorceress in fey clothes. Without your strength, the battle turns in favor of the Saracens. But when all seemed now lost, led by the love of friendship, Astolfo, on his chariot, all aflame, goes where one must dare to find that which compels us. Astolfo, the chariot's wheels come off the ground. Astolfo, you are already on high, higher than the peak of the oak tree, that the light of your chariot's fire now shines like a star among the stars. On the moon you have alighted, where that which is lost here soon can be found again there, among thousands and more ampoules, one on top of the other piled up. Only one, larger than the others, bears written, Orlando, his sanity. Found, taken, and brought back to the ground, half a second. Astolfo is already close to his dear friend, the Orlando who looks and does not understand, and it was no mean feat to make him breathe that breath that only with bait. Breathe, Orlando, breathe. What you have lost here I have found. And he was cured. Angelica? No, King Charles, paladins come, Moors to me.